Hi, I'm Olivia, and today's happy nugget comes from Madeline L'Engle, the wonderful American writer of such classics as A Wrinkle in Time and A Ring of Endless Light. I remember reading them when I was 10 or 11 and being fascinated by the journey. Her stories are an intricate blend of science and mysticism, championing individual responsibility, family, and the wit and courage of children in the fight of good against evil. Even though her books were marketed for children, she wrote for herself, having an intuitive understanding of her own childhood as childlike, but not childish. Perhaps her most famous book, A Wrinkle in Time, part of a trilogy that includes A Wind in the Door and A Swiftly Tilting Planet, almost never got published. In a great book of interviews called On Being a Writer, on the subject of how many rejections she got, L'Engle said, "There were over 30. It almost never got published. People think it was my first book, but it was the 11th to be written. I call it my Cinderella book. You name any major publisher in New York, and they rejected it. It was very difficult to keep on working when nobody in the world believed in me. Nobody." Madeline L'Engle was born in New York City in 1918. Her father was a foreign correspondent, an art and music critic, and a writer. Her mother was a pianist. In her household, books, writing, music, and art were taken for granted. When she was 5, she wrote her first story and called it Gruel, G-R-U-L, because she didn't know how to spell girl. When she was 10, her father gave her his old typewriter, and she wrote her first novel. When she was 12, her family fled to the Alps in search of fresh air because her father had been affected by mustard gas during World War I. After that, she was sent to a Swiss boarding school. In 1933, her family moved to Florida. When she was 17 years old, her father died. She arrived home too late to say goodbye. In 1937, she went to Smith College, and in 1942 she married and moved to an old farmhouse to raise a family. For the next 2 decades, she struggled trying to become a writer. In 1958, when she was 40 years old, financial pressures and disillusionment were such that she almost quit altogether. That year, her family went on a 10-week cross-country camping trip where she got the idea for A Wrinkle in Time, which was published in 1962, winning the Newbery Medal in 1963. Since then, L'Engle wrote over a dozen books, capturing the imaginations of millions of children, generation after generation. She used to say her work was like play. Of this, she said, "Watch children at play. They're terribly serious about it. Even running into a jump rope, you're very serious as you get in, to be sure the rhythm is there. As you're jumping, it gets less serious and more play. The same thing is true with writing. The first 15 to 20 minutes, half hour, is getting into that rhythm. Then once you're in it, you get caught up in that rhythm. That's when it really gets to be complete play. When you love your work and you're completely focused, when you get into that rhythm, pretty soon it's like child's play. Serious, determined, purposeful, and fun." And that's today's Happy Nugget. If you enjoyed this video, please like it, share it, and subscribe. As always, I'll link below the video anything I recommend. I hope you have a wonderful day. Thanks for watching. See you next time.